Hey guys, it's Shell the Spiritual Warrior. We are still discussing observing the mind, but today we are talking about depression. On yesterday's topic episode, I don't know what order you're watching this in, but that's what happened. That's how it did. We talked about withdrawing from the outside. So today we're going to talk about what happens when you withdraw a little too much. Well, I don't say a little too much. We'll just talk about what happens next after you withdraw. Depression happens. I feel like in this society, as soon as you hear depression, people are like, there's something wrong with you. Depression is really, well, I heard it described like this one time from a guy named Ralph Smart guy. Helped me a great deal on the beginning of, me just growing, on the beginning of me growing, was very helpful. And Ralph Smart described depression as deep rest. It is the time that you take for yourself to assess things. Like I said in the last video with withdrawing, you're only withdrawing because you realize that it's becoming more difficult to wear this mask around other people. Depression helps you realize that there is a mask. Depression is the time to, well, this is what happened when I became depressed. When I became depressed, I first tried to figure out why I was depressed. I think that's where everybody starts out at. And then I started searching. I started doing research. I started seeking. And I landed on Ralph Smart, who described depression as deep rest. And that was life changing. Really, if you look up Ralph Smart's video on depression, go check it out. Infinite Waters Diving Deep, Ralph Smart guy. So when I went in my depression, I went searching, I went seeking, and I heard the term deep rest. And I realized that where I was in my life, a lot of things had begun to crumble around me. And when I say crumble, I don't necessarily mean literally, but it became a transition. Everybody has these transitions in life where, if you don't grow, continue to grow, when you look around, you kind of realize that you're stuck. And the place that I was stuck at was, coming out of college and then going into adulthood. I was in that weird middle area, and I was having difficulties transitioning. I wasn't who I was in college. A lot of things that I felt like were me were breaking away. My relationships were changing, and it made me depressed. It really put me in a place where I just felt like I was losing everything. And I wasn't gaining. It wasn't being replaced. I just felt like I was constantly losing, which in a sense I was, but that wasn't a bad thing. So during my time of depression, deep rest, I thought a lot about who I was. I thought a lot about who other people thought I was, how other people viewed me, how I viewed myself through how other people viewed me. Because it was never really how exactly I viewed myself. It was more of myself as it relates to others and how others were viewing me. And once I kind of went with that idea, it made me wonder. Ralph Smart's video made me wonder, well, what do I think of myself? How do I feel? And no bullshit, it was it wasn't all good. It was things, it wasn't a drag you out, beat you down session, but it was real. I knew the things that I liked about myself because those things played into the mask. Those things helped create the mask. I was like, oh, that felt good, right? Cause that's what we do. The things that you like about yourself, that's what you put up. Oh, I got this, I got this, I got this. And then the things you don't like, you kind of just lift that up and sweep it on under there. But the things that you sweep under, one, those are some of the best things about you. Those are some of the fun parts. But to be fair, you also put some stuff under there that's kind of ugly, for sure. So it's twofold. Everything comes in balance. But the things that you put under there, those are the things that you sit with in deep rest, depression. Because you realize that all those good things, that's not just who you are. It's a mask. And masks don't really adjust. It's just a thing that you put on. It's not really room for vulnerability. It's not really room for authenticity. It's not really room to be wrong, and all that takes for you to lift the carpet up and dust that shit back out. That's what that takes. When you hit vulnerability and you get comfortable there, that's when those things come back out. You don't have a mask anymore. You still have the good things about you, but you have the real things about you as well, and you become a whole person. You're not just a half positive person. That's not reality. It's a mask. So perfect example of a mask, social media. Right? Facebook, Instagram. Nobody really wants to see, the bad day. So some people do put up the bad day, and kudos to you because you keep it honest, and it's a beautiful thing. But pretty much what it's developing into, or has already developed into, is a showcase for life. Look what I did. Look what I did. Look. And I understand nobody wants to drag their bad through the street, and there's nothing wrong with sharing the good. But what it does to us psychologically is it makes us think because we can't see somebody else's bad that there is no bad. And that can't be true. And we do the same things for ourselves. We put this mask on and we're like, no, this is the mask. There is no bad. That ain't true either. Because you got a lump under a carpet as large as you are. And now you're depressed. So depression is a time to figure it out. Don't jump to feel good. I guess don't jump to be just positive. Don't jump to I'ma just keep pushing on and put up motivational quotes or something like that. It is nothing wrong putting up motivational quotes. There's nothing wrong with it. But don't just jump to that to make yourself feel better. Sit in it. Sit in the discomfort. Don't be so fast to run from the discomfort. Lean into it because it's there to teach you something. If you weren't uncomfortable, you wouldn't realize that there was something to change. Discomfort makes you realize that you need an adjustment. Discomfort makes you realize that maybe you can't, maybe you shouldn't be, maybe you can't go back to what you were doing previously. You can't put the mask back on. You can't do it. When you sit there long enough in discomfort, you're able to actually begin the process of lifting up the carpet, since that's the analogy we're going with. Lifting up the carpet and really getting some of that dirt from under it. That's what accepting, allowing your depression, allowing your feelings, allowing these things, that's what they have the possibility to lead to. If you are constantly hauling your ass off from bad emotions, no, I won't be sad, no, I won't. If you're constantly doing that, or no, I won't, no, this isn't depression, no, this isn't, oh, I don't like this. If you're constantly doing that, one, it's gonna keep happening because you haven't solved the problem. But if you're constantly doing that, there's no room for anything different. You're just doing the same thing you always did, which gets tiring, incredibly tiring. So if you're depressed or you had an opinion of depression, and I don't know if I changed your opinion of depression, but if you feel like you're in this place, allow it. Allow it. Don't judge yourself for it. Don't constantly push against it. Allow it. Figure out what it's trying to teach you. Depression is where expansion happens. Those quiet times where you feel withdrawn, you feel forgotten. Those are the times that expansion happens. You don't need other people to see you. You gotta see yourself. Right? I remember that time when I was depressed. I felt like I was in a dark hole. Like, hey, does anybody see me down here? It doesn't matter. You have to see yourself. Yourself is that hero that you're looking for. That thing that you're searching out in every direction, finding that people use to fill their find careers that fulfill it, find relationships that try to fill it, drugs, alcohol, all of those things aren't gonna fill it. It'll just put a band-aid on it while you're freaking gushing blood. Seriously, I've been there. You're just putting a band-aid over something and you're gushing blood. That thing that you're looking for, that hole that you're trying to fill, the only thing that's gonna fill it is you. Yeah. Depression helps you realize that, and depression helps you get to the other side of that if you allow it. So that's it. That's all I got. Hope it was helpful. Yeah, hope it was helpful. Keep growing, keep loving. If you feel some type of way, go love somebody else. Don't keep looking. The only way, love begets love. If you need love, go find somebody to love on, and they'll love you back. That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing about it. Keep growing, keep loving. Peace.